Hey there, movie lovers. Welcome back to Rocky Watches Movies. Today we're stepping into the provocative world of the 1992 thriller Basic Instinct. Famous for one of the most talked about scenes in cinema history, this neo-noir classic pushed boundaries and left audiences stunned. But behind the intrigue and suspense lies a treasure trove of fascinating stories. So pour yourself a drink, cross your legs, and let's unravel 20 things you never knew about Basic Instinct. Joe Esterhouse's script, a screenplay he had written in just 13 days, sold for $3 million in 1990. He recalled how CBS Evening News even sent a helicopter crew to track him down on a Florida beach, interviewing him about the fortune he had just made from Basic Instinct. Before becoming a multimillionaire screenwriter, Esterhouse worked as a police reporter for Cleveland's The Plain Dealer. He once met a policeman who seemed to enjoy the action a little too much. The officer was frequently caught up in shootings and, although effective in many ways, gave the impression that he thrived on the danger. He explained that this trait directly inspired the character Nick Curran, noting that, just as Catherine says in the film, he became too close to the flame because he loved it. The character of Catherine Trammell was also drawn from one of his own experiences in Ohio, this time with a go-go dancer in Dayton. One evening, after they had gone back to his hotel room, the woman suddenly reached into her purse, pulled out a pistol and aimed it at him. She demanded he give her a reason not to pull the trigger. After a long and tense conversation, she eventually lowered the gun. According to Esterhouse, those two unsettling encounters formed the foundation for the characters in Basic Instinct. Director Paul Verhoeven set out to create a modern take on an Alfred Hitchcock thriller, only with far more adult themes. He explained that in traditional films, the killer would usually lurk in a house, while the unsuspecting victim went about ordinary tasks. In contrast, he said that in Basic Instinct, the danger was the same, but relocated. The killer was not hiding in the kitchen, but waiting on the bed, face to face with the victim. Michael Douglas contrasted it with Fatal Attraction, which he suggested had struck such a chord because audiences could so easily identify with its characters and situations. That story had felt rooted in reality, whereas Basic Instinct resembled a detective novel that people might prefer to enjoy in private. The film's most famous moment is undoubtedly the interrogation scene, in which Sharon Stone famously crosses and uncrosses her legs. However, Joe Esterhouse did not write the scene. In his 2005 memoir, Hollywood Animal, he recalled that Paul Verhoeven had decided the scene would be more daring if Stone went without underwear that day. Describing Verhoeven's choice as brilliant, he was quick to deny that this alone explained the film's success, though he admitted he somewhat regretted not having written the infamous moment himself. Esterhouse believed that Verhoeven was compromising his script. He felt that Verhoeven and Michael Douglas had teamed up against him. Douglas wanted the film to end with his character shooting and killing Catherine, with Verhoeven supporting him. Esterhouse said he refused, insisting that participating in such an ending would reduce the story to a poor TV movie. Verhoeven asserted his authority as director, but a few months later, he contacted Esterhouse and agreed to return to his original version of the script. Jean Tripplehorn was initially considered for the role of Roxy, although Paul Verhoeven felt she was not right for the part. He remained interested in her and offered her the role of Dr. Beth Garner instead. Sharon Stone was the 13th choice to play the femme fatale Catherine Trammell. Among the studio's top picks were Kim Basinger, Meg Ryan, Michelle Pfeiffer, Gina Davis, and Ellen Barkin. Stone ultimately secured the co-starring role after reading alongside Douglas. 12 actresses were considered for the role of Catherine besides Stone, but she was the only one willing to take it on, or off as in this case. When she read the script, she realised she was perfect for the role, but hesitated to approach Verhoeven. The opportunity arose when he called her in to dub lines for an airplane version of Total Recall. Stone deliberately wore a tight, Catherine-esque dress to demonstrate that she could embody the manipulative, seductive character. Obviously, the strategy worked. Stone has revealed that while she was comfortable with the sex scenes, she had far less tolerance for the violence. She recalled asking her best friend to lie by the bed during one particular intense scene, providing jokes to keep her calm, while a paramedic with an oxygen mask stood by in case she felt faint. Stone didn't feel comfortable around Douglas, and she sensed he did not feel entirely at ease around her either, but she believed that tension benefited the film. She explained that the sense of discomfort contributed to the movie's atmosphere, as she and Douglas did not get to know each other beforehand. The mystery of not knowing one another, she said, added a unique intensity to their scenes, creating an oddly intimate bond with a stranger. For her portrayal of a femme fatale, Stone drew inspiration from Barbara Stanwyck in Double Indemnity and Kathleen Turner in Body Heat. She said that Turner was a remarkable actress whose performances she had always enjoyed, appreciating the unpredictability she brought to her roles. She also looked to Judy Davis for inspiration, frequently watching Impromptu during filming. Basic Instinct was initially slapped with an NC-17 rating, but Verhoeven, whose contract required an R rating, had to appeal 8 times before they finally lowered it. He found the repeated back and forth with the studio, the editing room, and the MPAA, having to adjust more and more frames, extremely unpleasant. Interestingly, he noted that the infamous shot of Stone spreading her legs was never an issue. Ultimately, Verhoeven cut around 40 seconds of footage, which appeared in the European version. Michael Douglas refused to appear full frontal or portray his character as bisexual, and he clashed with Verhoeven over the director's approach to Sharon Stone, who was reportedly anxious and insecure. In her early scenes, Stone struggled to match her audition performance. Verhoeven later revealed she had nearly been replaced, but recognizing her suitability for the role, he worked closely with her to achieve the desired performance. Tensions peaked during a heated argument in a trailer when Verhoeven burst a vein in his nose, causing severe bleeding. Emerging outside in blood-stained clothes, crew members mistakenly believed Douglas had punched him. Cassandra Peterson, Bill Cable's girlfriend, recalled that during the ice pick scene, the weapon was meant to only hit the blood packs on his chest. However, Sharon Stone became so immersed that the ice pick pierced through them, puncturing his chest in several places. Only Bill realized at the time his screams of pain entirely genuine. He was rushed to the emergency room for treatment, fortunately avoiding serious injury, though the incident left permanent scars. Stone described feeling horrified, naked, and stained with fake blood after the accident. In her memoir, she recounted panicking, fearing the retractable ice pick had failed and she had killed him. She later learned that she had struck him so many times he had passed out. Reflecting on the experience, she noted there seemed to be no boundary she would not be pushed to, writing that she had been asked to skate right up to the edge to make the film. In 2001, Esterhaus was diagnosed with throat cancer, losing much of his larynx. The following year, he wrote in the New York Times, warning of the dangers of smoking, especially in films. He noted that Sharon Stone's character smoked while Michael Douglas's attempted to quit, using smoke both literally and metaphorically to seduce him, most famously in the film's controversial scene. He added that Big Tobacco was so taken with the movie, they launched a basic brand of cigarettes. On her appearance on Inside the Actors Studio, Sharon Stone was asked what she believed happened to Nick after the film cut to the credits. She chuckled briefly before smiling and suggesting that, in her view, he can't live. In Basic Instinct 2, Catherine makes a passing reference to Nick. While she does not explicitly state that she killed him, she also does not deny it. The film was a massive financial success, On a budget of around $50 million, it made over $352 million worldwide, making it the fourth highest grossing film of 1992. Stone later revealed that out of that $50 million, she earned just $500,000 for the film, while Douglas received $14 million. In his memoir, Esterhaus also recounted sleeping with Stone after the release of the film. He reasoned that, having written the biggest hit of her career, she was merely showing gratitude, and with Basic Instinct being a box office hit worldwide that year, Esterhaus felt he had earned the encounter. As we have mentioned, there is a sequel, Basic Instinct 2, though not many have seen it. After years of delays and rewrites, Basic Instinct 2 was finally released in 2006. But unlike the original, it was both a critical and commercial failure. Sharon Stone reprised her role as Catherine Trammell, yet the film struggled to find an audience, and was even nominated for several Golden Raspberry Awards, including Worst Picture. The film finished with a worldwide total of less than $40 million against a budget of $70 million. And there you have it, folks. You now know a little bit more about Basic Instinct. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.